C'est parti. Right. Hey, Bugs a Bite, hi! Let me know if you can hear and see. It's a very cute design, so I guess seeing is okay. I'll take it out of plastic so it's not glary as much. I initially thought I was gonna go with the original Tuxedo Cat design, but I think I'm gonna switch the colors around a bit to turn the cat into the gray cat I had as a kid. I feel like this would make for a very cute tribute piece. Hey, Otto! Hello! I hope you guys can hear me. Sorry, I was making. What's for dinner? Mentaiko pasta with homegrown shiso. Oh wow! We had a very sweet kitty story attached to some stress, but oh no! No 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 no! I'm glad that all is good. Yeah, I like my needle minder. It always cracks me up. But mother-in-law had a serious fall. Ooh! After her carer left and remained fallen until she turned. What? Oh no. One of her kitties stayed with her the whole time. Oh! Now, if only cats could use a phone. Alright, so I made a tiny mistake on my pattern, but I don't think it's gonna, you know, change much of anything. It's been crazy, but she's in good hands. Oh, phew. Good grief. Alright, well, I need to cut off this thread. Depending on surgery and rehab, we might be taking her to cats. Oh. The hospital has been amazing, except that when she went to surgery, we couldn't find. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's not funny per se, but it's just how. How do you lose someone for 24 hours? Oh, easily in a UK hospital. Okay. They are old ladies, so they need a special area. Aww. The ward she was on knew she would be coming back, but not if she'd even had surgery. The post-surgery ward don't answer the phone rightfully enough. Why? What'd she call this? Off her face. Trying to explain that she had hip surgery. What? Oh no. She had a knee fixed. Did she injure it in the fall, or was it messed up to begin with? She fractured one knee and broke the other. Oh. Oh. Watching your parents or in-law high off their faces is funny. They fixed the fracture but not the breaks yet. Oh, dang. So what was I? Oh, I'm stupid. I had more of that green stuff to do. Yay! Good job, me. Okay, let's start over. We were visiting and she was normal monologue. The nurse came by and asked, "Are you ready for the good stuff?" And for the next hour she was full of jokes and giggling for passing out. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, that's fine. One knee replacement got completely stuck in the fall. Like they said, there was a fracture. Ugh. It's kind of terrifying how, as we age, not only are we more at risk to fall to begin with, but if we fall, it's gonna be much more catastrophic than when you're younger. I'm getting the, do you remember that ad where it was an older lady who fell and she goes, "I've fallen and I can't get up." And it's an ad for a device that will call the emergency services if you fall or something. It's kind of old, so I don't know what's up with that now. Yeah, it becomes a matter of replacing joints and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of scary. How babies basically bounce, and the older we get, the more porcelain we become. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, that's it. It's not a funny situation. What makes me funny is the fact that I'm not entirely sure they hired an actress to do the old woman. So her line delivery is kind of funny. We have an amazing British TV show that makes fun of that. It's beautiful. She falls like 12 times and then has to remember the new emergency number. Crowd. And there's a song. Hold on, let me check if Shiro is still here. There he's good. Oh, I've set up a box for Shiro, so she would have a bit of a shelter from the sun, and she's all sprawled out in the box, and it's really cute. Hi, Jinx. Hi, baby. How did she travel this time, Otto? It's one of the first shows over here that I lost it. Just cried my eyes out from laughing so hard. Only a small hairball. She didn't have to get cleaned up or anything. Wow! Hey, that's amazing! She did so good! And I mean, hairballs, it's not like you can help those. That's amazing. Good job. Good job, kitty. She must feel so much better too if she can manage to keep it together a bit more. Hubby woke me up this morning shouting, "Oh, the cat are supposed to be at the—" What? Oops. Oh, next week. Apparently she made a lot of gagging noises, but they think it was a threat to make them drive faster. Oh. Oh no, she's learning. Get me to auto human faster. been ignoring me. Oh no. She's doing her regular routine. She loves hubs now. Cats. I mean nothing to her. You gotta start ignoring her too. She'll come back quickly enough. She'll be like, whoa, 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 wait. Why are you ignoring me? You're not a cat. But she will come at his beck and call. Aw. Kitty, kitty. Chris in the corner, I'm fine. Oh no! Oh no! Just give her a moment. She'll come right back. Cats, especially, I mean, she's a tricolor cat, so you gotta expect some temperament issues here. I'm fine. Hey, Ginger. Hi. Long time no see. How are you? How is everyone? Emmy loves hubby to bits, but he finds it annoying that both cats listen to me, but they tend to ignore me. Hey, cats. So now do we summon Prue? We should. I am the snacker bringer. I was about to say, like, if you want the cats to come to you when you call them, you gotta get them used to calling them equals food. We're a bit hot and humid, but then, ugh, tell me about it. You're not too far off from me, so I'm guessing we're having really similar weather, Ginger. All the snacks, all the cats, all the time. Reto. Handsome is Didi's favorite human too. I sometimes get looks of disdain, like, if he was home I'd have better luck. I mean, you can always, like, go do something else, right? Like, you're a cat. It's not like you have things to do. Cats are so silly. I'm sorry that Handsome has more leg than me. Yeah, I know that feeling. I have stubby legs too, so I hardly ever have a lap cat. But I can pick up the cats, and they won't squirm too much. I need water. If Mr. E picks up Pecco, she will try to climb on his shoulders. And if he tries to pick up Scout, she's just not into that. Also, we have a new lunchtime routine. Amy did something nasty to Bear because he won't eat kibble in the kitchen. If she's... Oh no! So having to put lunch in his bed, and then he spends half the time doing the no, no, no. What's the no, no, no thing? I can't control my stubby legs. Team stubby legs. Sorry. Look up cat saying no, no, no. And you, oh, I see. It's like the super angry about to explode now. Oh. Didi refuses my lap unless one my legs are crossed and two they're not bare. After a few oops claws incident made me jump, making her jump. You know, she's so needy. They can be so particular about what they want. It's kind of weird to think that we're already in July. Dang it. I'm so close to finishing this cross stitch part of my giant cross stitch. So close. You'll probably be done tonight, right? You really don't have... It's a needle minder. It's basically like a, you know, like an enamel pin sort of design, but instead of a pin in the back, it's a magnet. So you can have it on your work, and you can just drop your needle on it, so you don't lose your needle, and it's quite a good magnet. Tomorrow, woo! Tomorrow I have a 30 by 50 stitches area. That's not a lot. Wow, you'll be done tomorrow. That's amazing. Though I don't understand why you didn't plan to finish in 20 years by doing like 5% of it in a year. Although you're missing the whole point of cross stitch. You have to start a bajillion projects and then give yourself goals of doing like 3.773% on each of them in a year. Really, Otto, you're missing the whole thing. I'm working on a diptych piece in acrylics currently, very large and themed, no regrets. I would love to see an art exhibition by you, Jinja. I think it would be really, really fun. The larger piece is 16 by 16 inches? That's big. Dang. It would be so much fun, wouldn't it? I would love to walk around an art exhibition and see pieces that are like titled stuff like No Regrets and Rockstar, and I don't know. I think it would be really cool. I'm wondering if I should tackle the huge cross stitch next or do something this size again first. An exhibition would be an exercise. There goes, that's the title of your exhibition. An Exercise in Chaos, an art exhibition by Ginger. I think that would be amazing. What's the huge one, Otto, that you plan on doing? Is it another long dog sampler? I need a trash bin. We will all go to your exhibition. Yep. It's the, oh heck, what's it called? The only one that I know of is the Saga one. Oh, and there's one with Templar in the name too, I think. Oh yeah, Saga, that's the huge one. It's another 1/3 longer than this one, same width. I'd go for that one. Not only does it look really, really cool, but the name is really badass. But I don't like designs with quotes in them. Which one has quotes in it? I think the Knights Templar. Oh, Saga goes amazing with the first one I did, as it's lots of animals on their arches, but it's so big. Maybe have a break, then start the Saga. Yeah, maybe. Is there a way you could replace the quote with some design elements from the pattern? I just find it so weird when you see like sampler patterns that have like Abigail Thompson, age 8 on it, and people stitch that in as well. I'm always like, okay. The first one, Act of God, is the one I am nearly finishing. top cute I've already done. I know it's not on brand, but I really want a long dog sampler to make an all cats pattern. How surprising! But yeah, I would do that one. I would absolutely do that one. Ooh, the Ragnarok one is really neat. Though looking at it, the Templar one doesn't seem to have a quote on it. Does it? They're so cool. They're such cool patterns. I like the Ragnarok one, but it has good. It does, but I think you could just leave these areas like filled in. Oh, let me check. Ragnarok. Yeah, I think I would just perhaps keep the little visual elements in it, like the small dogs or whatever, or just add a few more stars in there, but otherwise I would just leave them black. I think it would be on brand. She does so many. She needs a cat one. But yeah, I like the Ragnarok one. I like the all the weird and what's the word I'm looking for? Elements related to Norse mythology. Is it the person who makes the long dog sampler patterns? Are they based in the UK? Hey, Cyan! This made me really want to grab my bunny crested shrimp. Ooh! Will you grab it? Ragnarok. One has a ship in the bottle with the fish swimming in the bottle. I really like the part with the raven and the oak tree on the Ragnarok one. Honestly, y'all, it's too humid for the scrap. Time for a freeze pan. We had ice cream with lunch. Well, after lunch. Alright, where am I going with this one? Yeah, okay, I think I need to do something differently. It's always funny when you try to go for the needle minder, but the magnet is not the good side, so it pushes the magnet away. Really cracks me up. The cicadas are vibrating, chirping. The kitties are melted. How melty do Didi and Dexter and Bear and Emmy get when it's hot? Yeah, I think she's UK based. Cool. I see so many people like maybe that's because of the type of content that I decided on purpose to check, but I've seen so many people start her pattern and hardly anyone ever finished them. I think Otto, you're the only one I've seen with finished long dog sampler patterns. Ouch. Yeah, designs are a graveyard of whips. I don't know why people decide to get so ambitious about it. It's like, I feel like a lot of them should know, based on their own experience and their own like stitching habits, that something so large is perhaps not the best pick when you already have like a gajillion whips ongoing. I think you have to be really committed to just that project to finish everything. Yeah, I think so too. I only do one cross stitch project at a time and I stitch a few hours a day and it still takes 3 months. Yeah. How many pages was this one? Like 20? That's a lot of stitches. Also, oh my god, the percentages. Pages. Saga is 25 pages, so an extra row of pages. Hey, not too bad. Didi melts on the shelf next to the thermostat to protest it. Yet our bedroom is always climate controlled, and she won't always. Yeah, that's the thing with cats. It's like, well, if you are that hot, you could lay down on the the ceramic tiles of the floor, but no, you decide to go on the super warm blanket. Okay, sure. I really like the idea of doing a monochromatic piece, so you don't have to start and end threads all the time. I might try that next. I don't know how anyone stitches on high count fabrics like 16, 18, or even like in even weave 28 count. I have no idea. I'm sticking to my 14 count Ada because I want to enjoy the active stitching. Yeah, and a lot of these like the even weave, they're not marked. I have no idea how people keep track of their patterns on those. Yeah, monochromatic cross stitch project completely changed the game for me. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do next. It's so much faster, I bet. Like most of the time consuming part is starting threads and ending threads. I think not marking the fabric is showing their intention that they are never intending on getting that far to need. But how? How do you get into a project not in the idea of finishing it? That's the whole thing. The same one you use, I think, because the loop one is really handy if you want to just do a few stitches, but it basically cuts the length of your thread in half, right? So you always have to start a new one, and it can be kind of annoying at times too. So I've been doing the more time consuming one, but that lets you keep your thread longer. Hi, I'm writing in my positive diary right now, and you were talking about warm kitties, and I subconsciously started writing that what you were saying instead of what I was meant to write. Hey, Yuri! I mean, warm kitties, that's a positive thing, right? Aww. I was able to get such a fun little photo yesterday because I had 3 cats sleeping outside in the flower bed. So Chaz was here, Shiro was here, and Fanta was here. All 3 of them. And they were all various stages of melted in the flower beds, and it was so funny. Like Chaz was moving a lot between like a recognizable cat shape like a loaf or a donut to stuff like a sausage and like having his paws on top, and it was just funny. Fanta was all like melted, but like he kept a bit of a shape. Like his head was upright, and you know, he looked like a cat. Shiro was completely passed out. She was basically, if you take a cat and you just take the whole cat and put it on its side. Her head was on the ground, her legs were like straight, and she was just like a puddle of kitty, and it was so funny. Worm kitties are okay until they're not. I mean, cats are good enough that if they don't want something, they'll do what they can to get away from it. Like there are surfaces around here, like concrete in the shade, so that stays a bit cooler, or there's a water bowl, there's stuff. So most cats enjoy to be warm, but it was just so funny to see them. Like there's such a stark difference between kitties in the winter, when they want to generate their own warmth and keep it, as opposed to the summer, when there's way too much warmth around anyway, so they try to like dissipate it as much as they can. Anyway, I'm rambling. I could ramble about cats forever. Cats are the best. I don't know, some days I genuinely question Didi's sense of self-preservation in the summer. Sorry, but to be fair, we're all like boiled frogs. Oh, I know what you mean. I gave Shiro a box so that she could be in her favorite flower bed but have a bit of shade too. And she seems to be quite happy with that. I think quilts make a really good kind of cat bed regardless of seasons, because I think they're quite cozy when it's cold, but also in the summer when it's warm, since they are mostly cotton. I think they stay quite cool too, or they cool easily. Like, not to be under a quilt, because under a quilt will be really warm, but to sleep on a quilt. Seems to be really quite cozy. Shade boxes are great, yeah. I wish I could install a kind of, you know, a, I don't know what's it called, but an awning, perhaps? Sorry, I'm gross. I ate leftover Domino's for lunch. And I'm digesting. But yeah, if we could have one of those awnings that, you know, you can retract or pull out depending on the weather or whatnot, would be really great for everyone. Like less sun for us, so our office room would be less warm, and also more shade for the kitties. highly recommend awning. Yeah, the main issue is you know, the fact that we're renting, not owning this place. So there used to be a tree on a yard like further away, but that was in exactly the right angle to provide us shade in the afternoon, but they cut that tree down a few years ago, which is a really cursed notion. We have a gazebo and there's a nice bench there. Sorry, my mouse cursor was on the text. I was like, a nice bench there with cushions, and the cats. Aw. Yeah, bushes are great. Good shade in there. Are you in an apartment building with multiple units or just a few units so you can get away with something like that? It's just a few unit, and I'm pretty sure we could probably talk to the landlord about it. I just don't know what's available. Like, I wouldn't want to put something that requires like drilling a bunch of holes in the walls and stuff like that. Could probably look into having, you know, one of those maybe beach parasol umbrella thingies that you shove one part of it in the ground and then you put the umbrella part in that first part. But yeah, maybe then. Well, it's not on our property. That's the issue. It's like 3 houses over. But the tree was big enough and at the right, you know, position. Let's say this is me here in my apartment building, and you have a street, and then you have more building, and the tree was like here. I hope that's within frame. But the tree was high enough that the sun, the angle meant that we got shade, but then they just chopped off that tree. Yeah, it was a really big tree. Montreal has a lot of big trees, and a lot of them are really funny because let me sketch that up. So most of our electricity lines are above ground, meaning you have ground level, big poles, and electricity lines. Nothing unusual about that. But sometimes there are trees growing, and eventually they grow, and they get to be really close to the electricity lines. So they have to trim the trees, but the way they do it, it looks like some sort of anime explosion beam went through the tree, because when you look at the tree at the right angle, so this is perspective, this is the street, sidewalk, then you have the trees, and you have the electricity lines, and the trees have like holes in them, like that. I mean, that's branches and leaves, but then you have the electricity lines that go through it, and it's just really funny. Because when you look at the whole street of trees like that, you really have this impression of like a beam that went through and made a really funny shape in all of the trees. I've never seen that before. I mean, I haven't seen it anywhere else. it's a bit silly. Ow. Oh, thank God this is a cross stitch needle. That would have gone straight in my finger. Yeah, I'm okay. It's a rounded needle, so a bit of a poke, but no holes. Is it even a cross stitch project? That's what I tell myself with sewing projects. Oh, they still, yeah, they do, but I didn't push hard enough to puncture, which would have absolutely happened if I had the a regular needle, you know, because this is still pointy, but comparatively it's really dull compared to a you know, one of those clover black needles that are super duper sharp. Suffering for the arts. It's like paper cuts. Yeah, it is. It's a needle minder. Sorry, Caps. I thought you were just really excited, which makes it so much better. It's a needle minder. It's meant to be used with embroidery and cross stitch. It's basically like a enamel pin, you know, design. But instead of a pin in the back, it's a needle. It's a magnet, sorry. So you can just like plop it on your... there you go. If you have your own enamel pins that you don't use but really like, you can probably make them into needle minders yourself by cutting off the pin and gluing magnets on the back, like the neodymium super strong magnets. This is a very magnet friendly live stream, I agree. The backyards in my street all bordered. Oh, dude. Someone in the street complained about the leaves from their neighbor's tree. Like, you live next to a forest, you get leaves anyway. I mean, someone in the street complained about the leaves. Just move. Go away. You're the one that doesn't fit in here. Like, go somewhere else where there's no trees. Leave the trees alone. I get so angry about that kind of comments. When I was a kid, like there was a really, really big oak tree on the front lawn. But the thing is it was just a bit over the property line onto the neighbor's front lawn. And various owners came through that specific house. And at one point, one guy was always complaining that the oak tree would drop like oak tree thingies onto his car. And I remember being so angry at him. And eventually he got the tree cut off, so that was not a good day. Though my dad did the really boss move of finding one of the cut trees little saplings, and he planted a new one, a new oak tree, like the son of the original oak tree, at just about the same spot on the front lawn, but this time on his side of the property line so that the neighbor couldn't cut it. I thought it was kind of boss from my dad. He rooted it. Yeah, basically. That original oak tree was really old, and we would find saplings all over the place because the acorns would get all over the place. And then give it a season, and poop, you have a small oaks growing. And we would often, like, people who would buy properties without trees would be like, hey, can you get me a couple of, like, little oaks from wherever you find them, just so I can, like, transplant them onto my new property. So there's a few offsprings of that original oak tree in quite a few places. Yeah, movie would love that. This is the type of neighbor that has too much time on their hands. Think American. Ugh. I don't want to think about HOAs. They're nightmare. Like, I can watch horror movies now and no issues about that. But reading stories about homeowners associations will give me the actual nightmares. Like, I can watch a horror movie, no nightmares. But I hear stories about homeowners association, and that's when I get nightmares. It's like, oh my gosh, these people. UK does have a choice. No. No, this sucks so much. No. Oh. Hey, Paulo. Yeah, like, go find a hobby. Yeah, and hobby, put an asterisk there, because the hobby cannot be mowing the lawn, leaf blowing. What else? Yeah, that's about the two most annoying ones. Oh, it does not have a choice. Oh, okay. Okay, because I was like, how is that a good thing? But yeah, effectively, that's you know what? I started a list of things, and I need to add that one to my list. Just so I can more easily keep track. Need to wash some pots and pans, and you are now on the TV. Oh yeah. What did you cook, Paulo? Paulo is our resident chef. Oh, also, I wanted to share with you this very small anecdote, but I was working on this small piece, and I was like stitching away, and at some point I paused and I looked at it, and for some weird obscure reason, the last two stitches I had done were like the wrong way. Instead of having like the first stitch this way, then the other one on top of it like that, I had done the opposite. I made the bottom one like the wrong way and the top one the wrong way. And I paused and I was like, what happened? How did I get there? This is pretty straightforward, you know? It made me laugh. I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those evenings. Okay. Nothing special, just made some red sun-dried tomato pesto. Oh, that sounds amazing. Because I had almost nothing in the fridge. Bro. When you have almost nothing in the fridge and you can still put together delicious red pesto with pasta, that's a win. I don't know what happened, but I undid the couple of stitches and redid them the right way, but although if you look carefully enough, I am sure there are stitches like that in my projects. Sorry. What? Like, anyway, it cracks me up because it's like, it's a repetitive, straightforward thing, and we still find ways to get distracted enough to mess it up. It doesn't really show unless you're doing like all over the place and not being careful of trying to keep to a specific, direction for most of it. I don't think you would notice if a few stitches are the wrong way around, but it's not like rocket science. It's like stitch, and anyway. Good indicator of being particularly tired. I think some people will get way too snobby about the right way of doing cross stitch. Just stitch for God's goodness sake. Yeah, I was watching a video. It was really interesting. I don't remember. I think the channel. It's a young YouTube channel, but I think the girl has a TikTok channel that is much bigger. But I think it's, Hazel is online. But she made a video about hobbies and this trend of starting so many hobbies but keeping none of them. And the video was sparked by seeing many memes of people saying like stuff like collecting fabrics and sewing are two different hobbies, or like you could have it with anything. Collecting paints and painting are two different hobbies, that kind of stuff. And it was about how collecting supplies for hobbies is sort of its own hobby in itself. And it was really interesting. Oh, the tidiness of a bag of a piece. Who looks at that? That's a very fair point. I mean, it doesn't, as long as it doesn't show, that's all. Cyan has inspired me and reminded me I needed to re-adhesive my pen magnets. I'll be more paw than jaw for now. Oh wait, I saw that video. Oh, you saw it. So yeah, that rings a bell, right? It was super interesting. It was kind of really relatable in a way. I don't know if you guys can hear the music that comes in from outside. Yeah, I saw that video too. It was really interesting. I heard that one a lot on the bookish. Yeah, exactly. Buying books and reading books. That was one of the examples she gave, I think. For me, it's not a relatable example at all because most of the books I buy are for the images in them, whether it's craft books or comics. I don't tend to buy many novels, and if I do, I often prefer to get them for Kindle. TikTok is terrifying, to be honest. Like, whatever trend I see coming from there is always, like, really shocking. I was watching a video on, what was it? It was really, it sounded really niche, but it was like a bathroom restock TikTok. And I was like, what's that? And some people are particularly obsessed with stocking their showers with like a bajillion products. And I was just excessively confused. Yeah, I mostly read physical novels, and it's exciting to go into the bookstore and look. But I first read the preview on Google Books and then decided if I want to read it. And yeah, I mean, you don't seem to be getting like 100 books and then not reading them, right? Like that's what we used to do before internet was a thing. You know, you would go into the bookstore, you would look at covers, titles, read the back of the books, and perhaps leave with one or two novels. Like, what's the point of having a bajillion books? You still need to read them, so they're not going anywhere. You'll still be able to buy them later on. I don't... Those restocking videos, they have a really off-putting vibe to them. Some of them are particularly out of touch with reality, I feel like. One of them really cracked me up. It was another video that I was watching, and the person making the video was going through all kinds of weird restocking trends and videos. And someone was restocking like their pantry with candy. It basically was more like a convenience store than an actual pantry, like if you kind of get what I mean. And they were like, oh, the kids, they have these snacks, like they can have one when they come from school, but also it's handy for like the groundskeeper and the help. And I was like, wait a minute, the what now? Hold on. What's just how rich are you? Like utterly unrelatable content. The groundskeeper, are you kidding me? Ow, I did it again. I hate this. This is so hard to bury the thread in the stitches in the back. Oh, I can't wait to try a monochromatic one. It's so ridiculous. It was so like... Oh yeah, absolutely not. I have one half-finished book on my shelves. The rest I've all read. The only reason I haven't finished it yet is because I noticed it wasn't the right book for me at the time. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, like the trend on Book Talk seems to be like you purchase a lot of books because they're trendy or whatnot, and then you don't read them, and then you can make posts about, oh, look at all these books that I haven't read yet, and yet I'm buying more books. I'm just like, I want to see one of those videos where it's like, oh, I bought a bajillion books and it's just one Kindle. That one I would appreciate. At least this person is a bit more aware of what it implies. Sorry, I'm rich and out of touch. Watch me anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Always got peaches. It's just... Oh, I like the one that takes the piss out of these restock videos. The guy who's lying in bed and called poor people povos. Sarcastically. What? And the comments on those videos are always, oh my god, queen of aesthetics. Oh, I hate this. Oh, this is so bad. No. 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 Just no. Just no. And often they're selling like the Amazon container that they use, so that's how they kind of... it's gross. My friend who is an author calls that, I think, functionally illiterate variation. I'm gonna have to send one to... Yeah, absolutely. They also tend to talk about spice in places where spice does not exist. What do you mean? Yeah, it's just a video for an affiliate. Basically, it's a big ad for some plastic thing on Amazon. That's not good for anyone. And also, like, if you can afford to spend like a few $100s in snacks and candies just to refill your pantry, you're not hurting for cash. Also, just... yeah, that's capitalism, baby. How fucking... oh, sorry. Like, how out of touch with the reality of everything. Not just the fact that no one... hardly anyone has that kind of pantry. And also, these foods are associated with so many health problems, and they're so expensive for zero nutrition, and it's just issues over issues over issues. Oh, I really hate it. Like expecting spice in certain classics, or grossly misunderstanding and thinking they find spice in classic, or not wanting to read some classic. TikTok has a spice. Oh, I can only think of Dune when I read spice, so that makes it sort of extra funny. Hold on, let me check. Okay, he's amazing. I'm gonna have to watch that later. Oh, that's so funny. He's so funny. Oh my god, apparently there's a thing called fridgescaping, like landscaping, but for your fridge. Oh, what? The guy you sent me, Otto, he kind of sounds like Taika Waititi. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. I'm gonna have to binge watch that later on. His commentary is on point. Gosh, that's funny. It like restock my freezer with ice. He says like I take the ice out of my freezer and then I put the ice back in the freezer, and I was just like, it's in the same There are frame photos in the fridge. Are you for real? It's a bit like those trad wife kind of trend that are so out of touch with reality. It's just painful. I watched one video once and like it was on a video talking about these videos that are problematic, and the wife, like she she goes to ask her kid, like, oh, what would you like as a snack? And the kid is a kid, so the kid is like, PB&J sandwich. And the mom is like, okay. So she goes to the kitchen, and I kid you not, she makes from scratch a loaf of bread, peanut butter, and jam from scratch, just for that kid's snack. Bridgerton, oh my gosh. Hold on, I have to watch it now. Bridgerton. What the heck? I'm flabbergasted. This is despicable. You strive to be this level of unemployed. Oh! Shots fired. That was good. Okay, that hurt. Sorry about that. Bridgerton. I tried watching Bridgerton recently. It's not exactly my cup of tea. I am still cutting with very, very frequent cackling brain. Hold on. I have to watch it. I did. My ability to cleanly exacto around magnet squares is depleting rapidly. No! Just stop before you cut yourself. Yeah, don't. You need your fingers. Sometimes I feel weird regarding wealth because I have a horse, but then I watch stuff like that and I suddenly feel very normal again. Also, I feel like there's a kind of cultural element to that too. Like, I don't know, but let's say that where you live, it's a very common thing for people to have horses because it's just the way it is. Well, I mean, that's fine. You know, like how in some places people have pet cats, and in other countries, cats are just a feral animal that you care for still, but you don't bring the cat inside, you know. It's not a very common thing, so... A Bridgerton, good grief. And then when you need to take anything out of the fridge, you make a whole mess and break stuff. And the food goes bad because it's not about making it efficient, it's about making it pretty. Oh yeah, it's definitely cheaper than in North America, and even regarding the Netherlands, even cheaper. Yeah, that's the whole thing, like... Oops. Nope. I can get behind the aesthetics if things either aren't useful, be emotional or practical. Pretty, then why have it? Yeah. It's always weird when like some elements of decor are there just to be there. They're not practical. They don't look like they mean something particularly for the person. And sometimes it's like, well, I mean, I don't particularly think it's a pretty thing either. Like, I don't understand. It has this feeling of walking into an IKEA decor setup. It's good. Ton sourcil. Miss. You just have to test it. I don't want to walk into someone's living space and have to ponder if anyone exists. There's a bit of that. Oh no, Yuri. Oh. It's so much work doing that every week that I got rid of a bunch of... Yeah, exactly. Kind of makes you realize that, like, we tend to just keep things just because. And then when you're presented with a situation that requires some sort of drastic change, that's when you realize that really all this stuff is not particularly relevant anymore. And it's perfectly fine to donate it, or, you know, I don't know, bin it, if it's not something that can be reused by someone else. We will all return to this, and then I was... Yeah, you do what you gotta do. Like, we really tend to keep things, and I'm someone who really struggles with that, with the guilt of getting rid of things, but I'm also fully aware that we tend to overdo it. it's very difficult to find the balance. And whenever I see people with super minimalistic interiors, I'm always stunned. Because I'm always like, where's all your stuff? Then you watch a show like Hoarders and you're like, oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, it is. I am a maximalist at heart, but sometimes it's just not practical. Absolutely. It is getting to be quite sweaty under this lamp, so I might cut stream a tiny bit short. But also, like, I a renter on something like 9 putty knives. Not palette knives for acrylics, putty knives for walls. Why? I do not know. We are donating, handing out several, but yeah. I was watching a video with something related to that not long ago too. I guess like the algorithm has been serving me videos about consumerism stuff. But it was stuff like how we're all kind of... The video was talking about how people... There's a loneliness epidemic, that instead of bringing people together in communities, it's more about being everyone like on its own thing. I'm not saying I fully agree with that, but that was the main theme of the video. And the person was giving the example of every person, like if you go to, especially if you go into suburbia land, everyone has a lawnmower, everyone has a leaf blower, everyone has a weed eater. Whereas if things were more set up to be a community item, like there might be a communal storage space that has a few of each, but you borrow them in and out. Like you don't really need your own lawnmower, really. Like you don't have to do it daily. There could easily be a rotation, and you could easily go around and, you know, everybody, let's say you buy one that's a higher quality item, and everybody chimes in on the price and on the maintenance and tries to take care of it, and you all use the same and you pass it around. That would be a whole lot more efficient. But that's not what we are pushed to do, really. Also, if you want to watch a video that's really, really funny, try searching for videos of Kate Blanchett ranting about leaf blowers. She's amazing. That'd be amazing. It would be amazing, wouldn't it? And it would be so much more efficient. Like all these community things. I think that's a bit part of something you would see in a, you know, the commie blocks. Because the communal space is really communal for real. Like there's a playground in front, and you know, it's meant to improve everyone's living. It's not about retreating in your corner with your own stuff. Although that's me. I'm fully a person that likes to be in my own corner with my own stuff. But I can also see the good side of having this area of communal tools that you don't really need to own, you know. Like, I need to own my own toaster, but I don't need to own my own lawnmower or a snow plow or, you know, stuff like that. Back with watermelon. Oh, I'm jealous. Is it good? Tell me it's a good watermelon. And higher quality tools. Yeah, and like that. I mean, we would probably mess it up because humans will human, but you could push it even further and have like power tools in there, like table saws and whatnot. Like, instead of each house having a garage with this stuff in it, you have a possibly one bigger garage that stores everything, and you can use it, you know. And you can set up a schedule and say, well, I'm going to need this, so I'm going to use, you know, that kind of stuff. If you grow a thing, like, let's say you're a woodworker, well, you might need your own set of tools in that setting because that's what you work with. But for a Mr. Weekend project, you don't really need a... yeah, it's an Italian watermelon. It's very similar to watermelons in Japan. I had as a kid. When I cut it in half, I waft the smell to the... Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that sounds so delicious. Oh, watermelon. We have something like that, but it's a rental company for tools like that. I think over here you can perhaps rent these tools from the home hardware stores. I don't know to what extent, I don't know what's available, but I think I've heard that that was a possibility. It's the juicy but not too sweet kind of watermelon. So the best kind of watermelon, basically. It's gotta be juicy and like crisp. Edinburgh has a tool library. Yeah, basically that. You go there, you rent it. Like, that's clever. We need more of that, and we need it for all this stupid suburbia old boomer shit too. Oh, leaf blowers should be illegal. Alright, so I missed my old makerspace. What's a makerspace? It's getting warm. You know when your fingers start feeling like sticky. Oh, I messed up. Alright, let's make you to stop for today. Fudge that. I'm not in the mood to undo some of this stuff, and I can't easily fix it, so I'll sleep on it. I didn't put my stitches in the proper place, so now I don't have space to do the bee's body. A makerspace is kind of like a club where it's all workshop space and various tools, and functionally it's a tool library, except the communal tools don't lead. Oh, that's clever. Oh, it's a bit like when you go to school and you have like a specific room that has all this stuff in it. You know, people who had shop, well, you would walk into this big room that has all the tools for it. That's really cool. I've never really used a shop kind of room, but I've used the photo room, like the black red room. What's it called? Dark room. I think it's called dark room. And that was really cool. Yeah, dark room. Also, there is a bonus because all the woodworkers are super nice, and if you're afraid to use a table saw, they will totally make the cuts for you. Oh, that's amazing. Is there like staff that's there, or is it always just like other people like you? And maybe pity you for the offset enthusiasm. I mean, imagine Imagine being in that situation, but let's say it's paint, and someone comes over and is like super enthusiastic, but also fearful. I mean, I would be really excited to help them. There was a couple staff, but usually there were just a number of people there who just had much more experience and were happy to show you how to use stuff. That's really cool. I'm hot. I'll just put this project back and sit on it for a bit. And we'll maybe... I'm gonna become one of those people with a bajillion whips, but I might start a monochromatic project just to get some stitching practice without having to really mess up with changing colors and threads and where everything goes and all that. We moved away from it. The local library here has a makerspace, but we have enough space in this apartment to woodwork at home. Well, that's awesome, but you can't access like communal tools if you woodwork at home. I've acquired a piece of bread and a cat. Oh, that's amazing. Sounds good. What kind of bread? Good bread. So only America has like absolutely shitty bread. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at myself, but regular brown bread. I have no idea. Toasted with peanut butter and oh. I mean, it's brown bread too. That's amazing. Carbs with fats and proteins, and also a high joy factor, because you got chocolate sprinkles on there. You got all the important food groups. You've got carbs, fats, proteins, and happy. You have to be kind to yourself. The humidity makes soup brain, and sometimes soup brains make them, yeah, all the time. Very much so, but yeah, that's why I'm just like, instead of trying to fight with it, I recognize my soup brain. And I will set it aside before I mess it up even more, and I'll come back to it when I have a bajillion whips too. Also, my thumb hurts. I hate this weather. I hate it. It's so warm. That's not totally fair. Ain't no stressing. Yeah, it's. I don't feel like this anyway is too much of a ambitious project that I will never come back to it, if you know what I mean. I feel like this is kind of a small enough project that I'll be able to come back to it when either I've had more practice or I'm in the vibe to fix all my mistakes on it. Or maybe just undo the whole thing and start over at this point. But for now, I need to sit on it. The happy part is my favorite part. It lets me eat chocolate before bed without feeling. It's such an important part of eating, and it's one that's kind of really difficult to balance, but also no one should neglect it. It's food for the soul, as they say. You need food for the body, but sometimes you need a bit of food for the soul too. But yeah, I'm ending this. I'm turning into soup, not just soup brain, but soup everything. And thank you so much, guys, for being here today, even if it's kind of hot and nasty. I'm probably gonna go drink a lot of very cool water and watch some silly videos of a guy commenting on stupid restock videos. And I'm probably gonna start looking for a monochromatic pattern, because I still want to do this. This is fun to do, but I need a variant of this that is not demanding any brain cells, really. Anyway, alright guys, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a great week, and see ya all in the next stream, possibly next weekend. But yeah, we'll keep in touch on the Discord, so have fun, good luck with the weather, guys, and see y'all next time. Bye bye.